Well, to be two, capital G here, got some duels with my favorite archetype, that is Lunalights. Well, my favorite archetype, not named Altergeist. These were actually submitted by two completely different duelists in the span of just like a couple hours, and I took that as a sign from the Yu-Gi-Oh gods who were just like, Cap G, you need to show these people the elegance and the beauty and the power of Lunalights. And I was like, all right, let's just put them together and show people how awesome Lunalights as a deck can be. Maybe you didn't catch Rank 10's last video, his archetype archive on Lunalights, and this is a nice little display. He's facing off against Oddeyes Pendulums. Oddeyes Pendulum's going to make a very legitimate turn one board. It is actually quite impressive, but I'm sorry, there is no beating the Lunalights, man. This deck does so much, and it's always been able to like OTK pretty easily, very similar to Fluffles. Really, when it got Kaleido Chick, that was the card that kind of tied everything together and made the deck much more consistent. Ever since Master Rule 4, you really can't drop like 3 Leo Dancers in a turn anymore. I think we do need a Link monster. That would be really nice, but until we get that, excuse me, there will be other Link monsters that we use, like Witchling's Apprentice and just other ones. But let's go ahead, shut up, and roll this. Okay, so Oddeyes are up first, and I believe he's gonna get Time Gazer on board. All right, not bad. So basically, this is what you just essentially want to get to in all Pendulum decks. You just want to put yourself in a position to get Electromite on field without using your Pendulum Summon. And you can see through the normal summon of the Dark Worm and the effect to get Time Gazer on field, he already has that, so he's looking pretty good. But it's actually going to get better here because he has Electromite, but then he also has the Oddeyes Arc Pendulum, which means that if he blows up this Pendulum Dragon over here with Electromite's effect, this guy is going to activate. It's going to get him an Oddeyes monster from his deck. He's also going to get the draw card because of Electromite, and then he's going to add a card to his hand. So he's going to go like +2 in this exchange, which is really nice. That's what he's doing. You can see he gets a whole bunch of advantage cards on field, cards in hand. Then he's going to Pendulum Summon like 4. And, you know, at this point, you're probably going to go for Vortex Dragon off of the Absolute Dragon. That's what he does. And this is an incredibly strong board. A lot of people, to the untrained eye, this might not look like a very commanding board, but it actually is, because we all know Vortex is going to negate something at some point because it, you know, it has that negate effect built into it. But this, the Persona Dragon, can also act basically as a kind of a watered down like Lost Wind. It negates a monster effect of a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. So if he tries to go into like, you know, Panther Dancer or something like that, he can instantly negate that effect. Then he has Boral Sword, which is just crazy hard to deal with because it can take monsters and put them in defense mode. So, you know, he has a lot of disruption here. Let's see how Double L's are going to deal with this. And I believe he's going to play Tiger. Now, I think he just shotgunned the Vortex Dragon way too quickly. He negates the Foolish Burial. That felt like bait to me. I don't run Foolish in my Lunalights, but it's all good. Let's see. He's going to summon the Kaleido Chick, activate the effect to get Crimson Fox in the grave, reborn it with Perfume. Then he tries to go for Tiger King, and this is where Persona Dragon is going to be like, nah, dog, you're not getting no effects today. And then he puts it in defense mode just for good measure. I think that was unnecessary because if you look at his board, all his dudes have like really high defense and, you know, 3,000 attacks and whatnot. This probably wasn't going to attack over anything, but I guess you can never be too safe. He wants the Kaleido Chick in the graveyard, which was smart, and he's going to reborn it back with Tiger. Now, the thing is, even though Tiger brings back monsters without their effects are negated from Tiger, Kaleido Chick is still a cost to send, so she can still activate her effect. Even if you strike her, it doesn't matter. Her effect is a cost. It always sends to the graveyard. Now he's going to summon this dude, and this guy is actually really good in Double L's. It requires 2 Beast Warrior monsters because it allows you to blow up 2 Spell and Traps on the field, so you can use like a Tenki that you've already used, or you can pop your Tiger and it can actually get you your Monster Reborn effect, and you get, you know, a nice little advantage that way. So he's going to target those. Tiger's going to get him his Monster Reborn effect for Kaleido Chick. Now, Oddeyes Art Dragon does let another monster come out, but it's irrelevant. The fact is, he now has Kaleido Chick on the field for a 3rd time. He uses another Tiger to get back Blue Cat, and he's finally able to get that Tiger King on field, then get the Tenki, and this is where things are going to get crazy because he has not used the effect of Wolf, and most of the time when Lunalights use this, it's almost like a 99% chance that a Leo Dancer is going to hit the field, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, since he did banish his copy of Kaleido Chick here, this means that no effects can be used during the battle phase, so even if he had a Mirror Force, it would not save him. And then just a little cherry on top, he's going to Pendulum Summon, the Blue Cat, that. That's going to double the original attack of Leo Dancer. So now she is 7,000 attack and can attack twice. And also after her first attack, she destroys all special summon monsters on the field, which we know is everything on this guy's side of the field. So yeah, good luck surviving this. Leo Dancer attacks for 4,000. She blows up everything, and then she attacks for 7,000. So yeah, she's a card that can easily do an OTK pretty much by herself, just her alone attacking. She did 11,000 damage in that duel. And that is still without him using all the other monsters. Like, he still had 4 other monsters that could have attacked. So clearly he would have been able to clear, like, it doesn't matter what his life points were, anything like short of 15,000. And that guy was just pretty much, no. He probably could have done somewhere around like 18,000, somewhere around that. And let's see, this is the second one. This one isn't as competitive. It's like a light swarm build. And this is interesting. Double O's are going first in this duel. And you don't generally associate Lunalights wanting to go first because fusion decks tend to go second so they can just kill you. That goes all the way back to like Shadows and the whole Shadow fusion. Summoner Monk is a card that I used to run way back when. It gets you Kaleido Chick on board. Now this is crazy. I never thought I'd see Lunalight summon Raid Raptor Force Tricks, but it allows him to get the Zephyros the Elite. I like it. He's gonna discard it for the effect of Perfume. That's how it gets in the graveyard. This is cheeky. Oh my goodness, I just realized this watching this. Here's what I believe he's going to do. He's going to activate the effect of Tiger, Reborn, probably Kaleido Chick, and then he's going to use Zephyros to bounce it to his hand and then play it again. Wow, that's such a cheeky play. I didn't even realize that. Let's see if that's what he does. All right, goes for Underclock. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. It just dawned on me that's what he was going to do. Tiger's not a hard once per turn. None of the Lunalight Pendulum effects are. He's going to go into Curious to dump another copy of Perfume in the grave. These are cards I would never run in Lunalights, but hey, more power to you. He's going to Pendulum Summon 2. Goes for Kaleido Chick's effect again. Goes for Evil Swarm Bahamut, which is really nice, a disruptive card. It has the ability to put special summon monsters face down. It's really good against the Pendulum Summon because I believe even if your opponent Pendulum summons like 5 from their hand, you could put them all face down. So it's pretty nice. And he still has a Leo Dancer. It's not the greatest turn 1 field, but really the Evil Swarm Nightmare is the defensive card on here. So it's not like the greatest stun field ever. Let's see what he does. All right, Photon Thrasher, Lumina for Lumina. Lumina's going to get booked. Then he's going to summon a Wolf All Foolish. That's going to get booked as well. He probably felt good until this Dustrudo, man, because now he's able to summon Utopia the Lightning. And oh, this is my heart. Bye-bye, Leo Dancer. Rest in pepperonis. Not using the Soul Charge because you cannot leave Leo Dancer on the field. Leo Dancer will kill you by herself. So I think it was smart to go after Leo Dancer. If not, it would have, Leo Dancer probably would have just outright won him the duel. But he still has some abilities to do some things because he still has Tiger. Kaleido Chick activates again. He then is going to use his copy of Wolf. Now, I believe that Fairy Tale Snow, what's Fairy Tale Snow going to be used on? He tries to use it on Cat Dancer, and that's unfortunate because he's able to counter that with Crimson Fox. I don't even use Crimson Fox, but these players are making use of it. Crimson Fox negates the targeting of a Lunalight card or a Lunalight monster. Is it card or monster? I'm not sure if it's card or monster. Let's see. If this card target one face-up monster, banish this from the field. It has to be a monster. Okay. Yeah, and then it gives both players 1,000 life points, which is weird in an OTK, giving your opponent, like, you know, monster, giving your opponent life points, really kind of weird. Now he's going to use Cat Dancer's effect. Cat Dancer is very similar to Panther Dancer, but not quite as good because Cat Dancer allows you to attack every one of your opponent's monsters and makes it so they can't die in battle the first time. And then each time you do 100 damage towards your opponent. Panther Dancer is just like a better version of Cat Dancer essentially, but that's the end of the game. He's able to clear out every single monster just off of the Cat Dancer, and he's able to have the rest of, this is kind of like a ragtag bunch. I mean, you got a Light Swarm, an Evil Swarm, and a Lunalight monster working together with a direct attack to basically win the duel. Didn't think that I would see that anytime soon in a Lunalight deck, but I guess stranger things have happened. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these short little duels. I'm not going to show the deck list because it was 2 completely different decks, so maybe just use your imagination. It's probably the extra deck that is mainly because I could probably build the second one without looking at it because I have ran Summoner Monk in Lunalights before. Zephyros the Elite could be a card that definitely works, especially if you run a Lord Darkness, then I think it could definitely make a lot of sense. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. And actually, I lied. I am going to just go ahead and show you guys the deck list because why the heck not? There's two different versions, as I said before. This is the version that was used in the second duel. This is actually the Summoner Monk build that runs Zephyros. I feel like if you run Armageddon Knight, Zephyros, and Summoner Monk, these are all cards that can work in double Ls, but I think that you could run, or you should run, I should say, Allure Darkness, because if you ever open with like double Summoner Monk or Summoner Monk plus Armageddon Knight, you don't want both of those cards in your opening hand. You don't need them both, so just go ahead and allure them. This version could actually run BLS. I've ran BLS in Lunalights before because all of his hand traps, Effect Veiler, Ghost Ogre, they're all light. Plus, double Ls do have light. They have light Lunalights, which are the Pendulum ones, the Tiger and the Wolf. He only runs one Wolf in here. Personally, I've always liked two because if you run Desires and you banish Wolf, it's going to be really hard to get into Leo Dancer a lot of times, and you might lose because of that. So I probably would take out something like Soul Charge and maybe run a second copy of Wolf. But then again, I guess you will have to go second as he did. So Soul Charge can be a power card when you go, or excuse me, Soul Charge will be a power card when you go first. Called by the Grave is a good call in this deck, no pun intended, because if you play Lunalights and your opponent has Ash, you will 100% get Ashed every single time. There's something that you're going to do that allows your opponent to Ash you, whether it be trying to search from a Poly, from Black Sheep, if you're trying to Tenki, you're trying to activate Desires, if you try to use Summoner Monk. There's just too many like surge effects and double Ls. Your opponent is going to Ash one of them. Even if you activate like Perfume's second effect to try and search for a double L, they can Ash that. So definitely you got to play around Ash and play around Joel and Lockbird. The other like hand traps like Ogre, really not that big of a deal. Plus people don't really play Ogre that much anyways. And then the other build is this one right here. This one's kind of all over the place, which, oh no, wait, this is the same build. Oh my God, I'm drunk. Let's see. This is the other one, the Lunalights Wreck Pens. The 30 or the 40th card was actually Foolish Mass Burial, the one that sends a card from your extra deck to the graveyard. Not exactly sure why he ran that, but this one's a little all over the place. He's got Scapegoats. Hey, he does have BLS in here. I'm feeling it. Yo, shout outs for running BLS. His hand traps aren't even the light ones though. It's so interesting. The version that had enough lights, in my opinion, to run BLS didn't run it. And in this version that doesn't really have that many lights, it just has the Pendulum Scale double Ls. This one does actually run BLS. This is weird because he runs Joel and Ash as opposed to Veiler and Ghost Ogre. But, you know, different hand traps for different folks, I guess. I've always liked Dark Hole as opposed to Regeki and Lunalights, because if you happen to have Blue Cat on the field, it allows your Blue Cat to float. Sometimes that's important because you might summon Blue Cat back from the graveyard with like Tiger, blow it up, have it activate its effect. So generally speaking, as weird as it sounds, yeah, Dark Hole is actually better than Regeki in double Ls in this deck. But yeah, I'm just happy to get some double O action on this channel.